I've been traveling for about 13 years, pretty regularly. I've clocked almost about 700,000 airline miles apart from road trips. I've been to 15 different countries. I mostly traveled as a musician, but I got to take my camera along with me and really developed my skill as a photographer and a videographer. But in that time, I also learned what gear really travels the best, and I've narrowed it down to this list of gear. And some of these pieces, yes, they're definitely a little more expensive, but they're well worth it. You get what you pay for. But these are the ones that I found have really endured miles and miles of travel. Beyond endured, they've been functional, worked well for just everyday use as well as traveling. This is my list of essential travel video gear, starting with the Sony A7III. Now, when I bought this new, I mean, this camera's probably like 3 or 4 years old now. When I bought it new, it was $3,300, but shoots 42 megapixels, 42 megapixel raw images, which are stunning. Also does 4K at 30 frames, which is awesome. This is really my go-to travel camera. Freaking awesome. The reason I chose this over the A7 III is because of the megapixels and because I like to do photos as well as video. Love this thing. I utilize all of the custom buttons, all of the, your shortcut menu. Love this camera. Amazing. Before I even go any farther, links will be in the description below to every single product, and then a few that are not on this episode that I really like, but I just didn't put them on here for some reason. Anyway, links are below. Check those out. And thanks for checking those out and using those links. Next up, crop sensor powerhouse, the A6600. Love this camera. Just pretty much, it's pretty much an A7 series camera with a crop sensor. This thing is just incredible. You only get 24 megapixels, but who really needs more than that? Awesome camera. Also love the reversible screen. Definitely gets in the way. You can't mount a shotgun microphone. Kind of sucks, but it's still amazing. The compact size, the quality, the image quality. I've shot music videos with this thing. This camera is amazing for the price. Check it out. Moving on to lenses. The Sony 35mm 1.8 large aperture lens. Now this thing is tiny. Tiny lens, yes. It's a perfect size actually, but looks can be deceiving. This thing is an $850 lens, but absolutely amazing. It's basically the next level up on Sony's line. You have the 50mm for like $300 or $400. Great lens for the money. This is a step up and gives you awesome autofocus, gives you a custom function button on the lens itself, sharp images, and in my experience, very minimal lens distortion on the edges and softness. This thing is a really great, sharp lens. Highly recommend this lens. This is an awesome all-purpose lens. And I'll give you some segue into my next lens, the Rokinon 35mm T1.5 lens. Now you're gonna say, why on earth have two 35mm lenses? Great question. The reason being, because I have one full frame sensor and one crop frame sensor. So when I put a 35 on the crop frame, it's basically a 50mm. So if I'm shooting an interview, I have a 50 and a 35. That's all I need. And if I'm stationary anyway, I don't need an autofocus lens. The Rokinon is pretty cheap, excellent quality. I've shot so many photos and so many videos with this, and a lot of the B-roll you're seeing is with this 35mm lens. Really great lens, really great quality for the price. Leading into the Rokinon 85mm T1.5. Same quality. I really like this lens, specifically for photos, because I'm going to crank the aperture up on this one a lot. And I love this thing. And when I'm shooting 42 megapixel stills and cropping in, I can get some sharp, beautiful images. And I love the color of the Sonys with this Rokinon 85mm. Also great for video. It's a really tight close-up if you're shooting interview style stuff, but if you're shooting B-roll, it's a great lens. And you just set your camera's steady shot settings to 85mm and it works great. Okay, next, SanDisk SSD. This thing is, I don't know what they call it, rugged or something, but out of the box, this thing is awesome. I have several other SSDs. I got like Samsung T5 and the Angelbird, and of all of these of all of the SSDs that I have, this is my favorite travel just backup storage option. Super small, super rugged. It's got, you know, rubber casing or whatever to keep it kind of waterproof. Just fast, 550 megs read and write speed. Incredible little piece of gear, and it's so slim and small that it just slides into any of your pockets without notice, and it's so light. So this thing is an absolute must-have for travel. Microphones. I've said before that I don't particularly like on-camera shotgun microphones because for the most part it's only slightly better audio than the camera's audio these days, and certainly not worth paying $200 for the Rode mic, I don't believe. So I got a cheap one just because it is a little bit better than the camera mic, especially if I'm on the go and I need a little bit more dedicated sound isolation. But this one, I've tried several other ones. I've tried the Rode, different levels of the Rode microphone, and this Asden mic, and it's about $85, $90. Best microphone for the money if you're going to get a shotgun mic. Check this out in the link below. Next up, GoPro Hero 5 Black. Get whichever one you want. Hero 5 and up, Black Edition. Awesome camera. I use this in a lot of tight places or places you don't really want to be like waving a camera around. You know, people ask questions when you wave a camera around, like in the airport or something. So this thing I carry around with me because on top of its small size and portability, it's waterproof up to 30 feet, you know, crazy durable. You can mount it almost anywhere with the mounts, and it shoots 4K 30 frames. So this is like a no-brainer piece of equipment, especially since you can get them used for $100 or $200 on eBay. Go find one because this is an excellent tool to have. Throw it on your kayak, you know, it's something that you don't have to think about. You don't even need to set the exposure or the aperture or anything. Hit record and go, and you get good quality video. Love the GoPro. Okay, now we're getting more into travel accessories as well as camera things, but the Sony WH1000XM2 headphones. This is probably an older model. I believe there's newer ones out there. Either way, same line of headphones. I personally like these ones because they're very balanced tonally. Bows are nice, but they add some compression and add some low end. These ones are very much more of a flat. If you enjoy the actual tone of music where you're not making crazy EQ changes, these Sony headphones are excellent and accurate presentation of the music that you're listening to. I love to put these on when I'm working with audio or if I'm just listening to music on the airplane. Great tool, even just to cancel noise out sometimes. Okay, the Zoom H5 recorder, as well as the shotgun attachment I'll show you in a second. The Zoom H5 recorder, I don't remember the price, $150, $200, $300, don't remember, but really amazing tool. Apart from the bad battery life, which I found, this thing is awesome. You have two XLR inputs, a stereo mic, stock stereo mic attachment that you can remove and put different capsules on. And basically you can have up to 4 XLRs with another attachment. All phantom powered, an amazing field recording tool that fits, you know, palm of your hand, just barely bigger than your cell phone. The Peak Design capture clip. I've had this thing for probably a decade now, and this is one of the best photography investments that I have ever made. And it was probably $90 when it came out. But this thing basically attaches to any bag right there on the shoulder strap. You click a button, pull it off, and you start shooting away. And you click it back in, hands free, you can get back to hiking really fast. I had looked for one of these for several years, something like this for several years, because I like to shoot while I'm hiking. I don't want to throw it in my bag, you know, and have to dig it out every 10 minutes when we turn a corner and see an awesome mountain. I want to have it readily accessible. And this capture clip is brilliant because it's got a quick release. You can rotate the camera any way, lock it in. On top of that, it's got an Arca Swiss mount, so you can throw it on your tripod. Like I have the Davis and Sanford Traverse carbon fiber tripod, which I'll show you in a second. And it fits right on that head. Lock it in, don't need a separate plate. Brilliant piece of equipment. This is an absolute must-have for the outdoor photographer. Of course, bring lots of extra batteries for your cameras, that's a duh, but also bring a power bank. So I have the Anker, I don't know what the model is, but the Anker power bank probably charges my phone 3 to 4 times. On top of that, you can plug in your Sony camera with this thing. If you are out of battery, say your 3 batteries die, you can have another battery to charge your camera and more battery life. Awesome tool to have just in general for your phone, for whatever. Bring a power bank, bring a battery. Cool little case that I found for 10 bucks on Amazon. Check out the link. This has room for everything. This one I got specifically for the T5. It has a T5 insert for it. So I have 2 T5 drives inside, but then it's got a little flap for SD cards and then another inside pocket for whatever. I throw my SanDisk SSD in there as well as some extra SD cards. $10, really great protection and storage for all your media. Now onto the big piece of gear, well, big in size. This backpack, the Peak Design everyday 30-liter backpack. I've also had this for a while because this is the best backpack that I have found. Not even joking, this is the best camera backpack that I have found for travel, for everyday use. And I go into it, I actually do a detailed review. I'll show you the video, the link to the other video, detailed review on this. This backpack, I've had several low pro and an in case, a lot of different cases. I've even had some Pelican cases. And this thing is a workhorse. This has done everything that I needed it to do. It's one of those things, again, I looked for years for the perfect bag and I found it when they released this bag. I love this thing and it's got room for everything, for your computer. I think it's got room for the new 16-inch MacBook Pro. It hauls all of your gear. All the gear that I'm showing you laid out fits in this thing and then some. Amazing. Next up, I have like I said, the Davis and Sanford Traverse carbon fiber tripod. I've also had this for a decade, and this has been the workhorse of all of my outdoor videos and photos because it's so light, so durable, yet so functional. The ball head, it's not ideal to have a ball head, but I have never had an issue with needing something more because it's got a really nice smooth friction head that I can get awesome pan shots with if I need to. The ball head is great for photography, especially for a star, 360, 90 degrees up and down. Really great piece of equipment. Highly recommend. This is also an absolute must have for travel photos and videos. And lastly, my blue light glasses. And you're gonna be like, why on earth put these on your list? This is stupid. For $10, you can protect your eyes long term. I've run into the problem where very often my eyes start to hurt. I kind of get like a headache in my sinus area, or just a headache in general because I'm looking at a screen. I'm editing videos all day, every day, just to prove that it works. And it has helped me immensely in the past 2 weeks. This is also an absolute essential for those of you who are editing constantly, editing on the go, traveling, always looking at screens. You need a pair of these for $10. Make the investment to save your eyes. So that is a very, very brief rundown of my travel essential video gear. If you have any questions, hit up the comments. Also, remember, all the links are below. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to those of you who have subscribed. Stay tuned. We have a few trips coming up. We're going to California for a week and then 10 days in Washington, where I'm going to climb Winchester Mountain. Going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned. Subscribe. Again, check out the links below to all the products that I have listed here. There's a few extras down there that I think you'll really like, but these are my travel essentials. Thanks for watching.